It's okay to put things down if they're not serving you right now. Hey, hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. A friend of mine wrote a song called Put It Down, and the words or the lyrics are something to the effect of, you look good with a gun in your hand, but baby, won't you put it down? And that resonates a lot with me, because I think a lot of times we get hung up, we get hooked on the anger, on the justification, on the story of why we disagree or why we're not worth, why somebody else is wrong. We get caught up in these negative stories that take so much energy and ultimately don't bring out our best selves, which is my goal for me and for you. And it's important to remember you can just put it down a while, even if you don't quite have the tools yet, or the words yet, or the feelings yet in line to replace it with a positive. If you just go ahead and put it down, I say to myself, hey, I can't fix that right now, so let's change the subject, brain. Or hey, clearly I'm having a lot of negative emotion about this subject and I'm feeling helpless about it, so I'm gonna do some work. I'm gonna do something that I feel better about and try to not think about that thing right now until a later time, because everything changes. This too shall pass. And usually the sooner I do that, it's kind of amazing how quickly my angst, my sense of unworthiness, my despair, my bad feelings can dissolve. It's not like I just ignore them or numb them. It's like I accept them, but I also say, hey, I'm going to table this for right now because I'm not in the right frame of mind to give it my best, or there's just nothing I can do about that right now. And in tabling it or putting it down, it gives me room to both do something more positive, maybe forward another part of myself or a goal of mine, and also gives that space so that it can dissolve. Usually, things change, like I mentioned, and things will either get better or they'll get worse if something doesn't feel right. So if you're not feeling right about something and you can't do anything about it right now, and all you're doing is telling yourself a crappy story about how terrible you feel about it, or how much somebody else is to blame or you're to blame, blame is always a good sign that you're stuck in a negative loop that is going to be non-productive. Blame rarely gets anybody anywhere good, in fact. Now, responsibility is the other side of the blame stick, I like to say, and responsibility is empowering. Taking responsibility for your own thoughts, moods, and actions, which is one of my daily mantras, allows you to be less disempowered by somebody else's opinion of you, by your reaction to any number of details that's going on. And we're human beings. We live in these bodies that we're not fully in control of sometimes, some of us more than others. We live in societies with other humans who we're not in control of. And so sometimes you're probably going to feel bad. I don't know a person who doesn't feel bad sometimes. I do know people who do a pretty good job of not allowing themselves to stay there, and instead focus on what they can change, focus on what makes them feel good. Because you know what? There's always something to be grateful for, always something that you can do, always something that you can focus on. And maybe you just need to do nothing. Maybe you need to chill out and take a bath. Maybe you need to take a nap. Maybe you need to take a walk. Maybe you need to eat a sandwich. All those things are good checks if you're not feeling good, because actually probably 99% of the time when we're not feeling good, it is some biological response to not taking the greatest care of ourselves, or just to a hormonal fluctuation that we haven't prepared for, or is not in alignment with what we were trying to do, and so then it gets frustrating. But the thing is, if you just recognize that that's part of life, and recognize that you're going to do much better in life if you don't waste your energy focusing on the things that make you feel bad, or focusing on the things you can't change, and instead focus your energy, spend your time on what makes you feel good, what you can change, make positive change toward. I'd love to know in the comments if you have any thoughts about that, if there's something that you're working on changing for the good. Is a train going by? Is there something that you get hung up on that you need to just let go of or put down the table for a while? If you're willing to share that in the comments, I sure would appreciate it. And as always, you can find ways to connect to me, ways to hire me, ways to support me in the description below. And until next time, I wish you peace, prosperity, positivity, potential, and playfulness.